Hey, good morning. I wanted to chat with you quickly about something cool that I did here the other day. So I caught this live stream the other day where Ray Fernando, who is an awesome you- uh, resource for anyone that's doing AI coding, things like that. He's a great follow. He interviewed these two fellows, Mike and Ty, who made this free meeting transcription service that you can run locally using Whisper and some AI products. It's super cool. It's something that I would have been probably unable to install and run, a year ago when I'd never heard of Python and stuff like that. But I was able to get it up and running. So just do a quick walkthrough. You have to download on Windows anyways. So this is their GitHub repo, and so it needs a few things. It needs Python, FFmpeg, which is for the audio processing, and poetry. So they only have instructions for Mac OS and Ubuntu, but for Windows, all I did was download this FFmpeg for Windows. You click window build from one of these two, download it, install it, add that to your environmental variables, your path variables, which is just you go to system variables, path, and add a new one here. And then the same thing with poetry. And then you basically just do your command and do pip install WhisperBox. I had a couple little issues, but long story short, I got it working. If anyone has issues, let me know, and I can try to help you troubleshoot. But the next thing we had to do is download O-Llama, which is a way to have free open source AI models on your desktop. And I downloaded Llama 3.2, the 1 billion parameter model. I just watched some YouTube videos to make sure that all went smooth, but it all went good. And now I've got a neat little, all I type in is WB, and to run the WhisperBox. In the setup, it has you download Whisper. You get to pick which model you want. And basically, when you run this, it uses this config.yaml, and it asks you what AI model you want to use for summarization. It's got this audio capture stuff, and then it's going to tell you where you're going to save the data. This default profile is neat. So they've got these different profiles set up that you can use. Let me open one of those right now. So they got these profiles that this all gets installed when you just install your WhisperBox with pip. So meeting summary, for example, is the custom system prompt that's going to be used by the AI to transcribe. So while we're reading some of this, I might just press enter to start recording. So it says recording in progress. Ignore this. I'm not sure exactly what's going on. It seems to be working even though I'm getting those errors. So recording in progress, press enter to stop. So this meeting summary.yaml says you'll receive a transcript or notes from the meeting. Your goal is to produce a concise yet comprehensive meeting summary. So requirements needs a summary, a brief overview, executive friendly stakeholder brief, project pulse, action items, output, provide a final summary covering 4 sections above, do not include original meeting transcripts, etc. The next one that we can look at that I was just trying right now was monologue to keynote. Pop open cursor. So monologue to keynote. Receive an unstructured or casual monologue that outlines ideas or concept. Your goal is to transform these into a compelling TED Talk style keynote presentation. So identify central themes, organize content in a clear structure, use engaging inspirational tone. So we're getting the transcription, which is just the raw audio, and then it runs this little script in the background to convert that. So I'm just going to bring you back to my command line now. And so the cool thing about this is I've actually got this Whisper small English on my local computer here. So this is what's doing the transcription. So I'm not using an API. It's not costing me any money. It was all free to download. And for the other AI model, it was just this O-Llama, and it's using this this Llama 3.2b. So it's like, you can read about it. It's one of Meta's small model. It's not going to be as good as like your frontier models like 4.0 or whatever, but I don't know if it has here some benchmarks. Anyways, we'll have a quick look and see how this all looks. So I'm going to stop this. Okay, so recording stopped. It's saving the recording to, WhisperBox data, and I'll just show you how this looks. So in my WhisperBox, so under the profiles, that's where we looked at these different scripts. The models, that's the Whisper small llama. I could have downloaded like a better transcription, but it was even larger. Like that's a 0.5 gigabyte. I'm just experimenting. I've never used any of this open source stuff before. So under data, I've got all these transcriptions that we're working on. So right now, I've just got this recording.wav, which is the exact audio that was captured when I was running this. So right now, it's still just doing the transcription. It takes a little bit longer locally. I don't have a super spec'd out machine. This is like a really low-level consumer laptop. So while we're waiting for these outputs to keep doing the thing, I'm going to just show you one more thing. So when I was using it last night, this YAML file, when I was updating the default model, it was, doesn't matter what I put here, it was still saying Llama 3.1. And I tried using an OpenAI API. I tried Llama 3.2, nothing was working. And it was a known issue. I mean, these guys just released it yesterday. And I thought, well, let's see what I can do just by figuring it with ChatGPT and myself. So we kind of dived into the code, and we found that elsewhere in the code, it was basically hard coded to just use Llama 3.1. It wasn't reading this from this YAML file. So I was able to update that and get it to work. So I went to GitHub. This is their WhisperBox GitHub issues. And I did this. I submitted an issue where I described what was going on. And I actually was able to fix it myself. So I copied that little thing into there. And anyways, last night, they solved it and pushed a fix. So kind of neat. Anyways, it's like the first time I've ever engaged with someone else's GitHub repository before in like a constructive way, not just like looking at it. So I see my first the two transcripts are done. So there we go. This is transcript with timestamps. And this is what I said. It did it pretty good. I mean, it's even the Llama 3.2b came across. So I would say pretty accurate. The next file that it gave me was just the straight text output. So see, there's no timestamps there. This is just the text only. And now this is, I haven't really played around with these too much because I hadn't been able to get that AI model working until late last night. But this is using that keynote presentation. So it's kind of made it into a speech here. I want to talk about something insignificant at first glance a simple task in the role of data analysis, but bear with me, right? So transcription is not about just turning audio into text. It's an art form that requires attention to detail. And anyway, so it's kind of neat. This is what it's output from, my raw text. It's kind of given a speech or whatever, right? And I don't know that I would find this that useful, but I'm going to play around with it, and I think I can definitely break it down to something that is useful, right? So in this case, our clients were skeptical about using transcription in their business, but seeing how, so it's like, it's taking pieces of what I've got. I wouldn't say it's like got all the notes in it that I would want. But really cool. I'm going to probably make my own custom profile.yaml and see what I can get from it. So the idea is, if I take a call on my computer, I could turn this on, obviously tell people that I'm running it, and have a nice way to have all my notes and pull out useful information. Or in my own world, probably something I would do is just kind of use this sort of how I use my, OpenAI advanced voice, but I would just talk into this and have it running, and it'd be a good way to record my thoughts. And then I can hopefully structure that into stuff that I would want to use more, I think there's a lot of value in taking speech is much different than writing or typing, right? It's typing, it's easy to be structured, kind of move around the document where you want to put it. But text is more flowing. You might have a good idea, want to talk about it, bounce back. So then you get like the transcript, which has got all the useful information in it, but it's not necessarily like logically flowing how you'd want it. So I think there's a lot of good potential for using that here. Anyways, if you guys thought this was interesting, let me know. It's these guys have a paid version. I think it's $10 total, and it's got a nice graphical user interface. You don't have to use the command line. I think it's probably more user friendly. And I'm not saying I won't buy it, but I really wanted to just play around with this and see kind of what you could do with it. That's what I'm trying to do, is learn enough of this tech to be able to make cool things that I want. And it's all under MIT license. So basically you can take this and make it your own. You can use it commercially. You can alter it and whatever. So it's cool. It's a very broad license. Anyways, be happy to know if you guys ever try something like this, or go from there. Thanks, guys.